Hey guys, it's Friday afternoon, and let's talk real quickly about funding numbers. So first of all, what's a funding number? So some lenders, when we finish a closing, wants to see certain documents, and what they're looking for is to make sure they've been signed right, dated, notarized, witnessed, and things of that nature. So I'll tell you, as a lawyer, we can't stand funding numbers. It slows down our whole process. And we want to get you out of the office as soon as possible so you can go make more money and your clients can get back to work. But also, we can't really move on to the next file until we've got the funding. So it does slow down our process. So we have every incentive in the world to try to get you funded and done as quick as possible. So I had an agent the other day ask me, goes, well, why does it take longer some days than it does others? And why is it some attorneys are quicker on this day than other days? And what's the problem with funding numbers? And so I thought I'd give you a real quick lesson on some of the things you have to look for on funding. So the first thing is different lenders. Some lenders in Columbia have no funding documents. As soon as we finish, we can cut checks and be done. Some lenders want to see a few documents. Some wants to see the entire package. And so that does cause delays. The second thing you have is where are these lenders located? So if you have a closing department, not the originator, but the closing department located in another state or another city, that also slows it down, because if we are dealing with somebody on the West Coast, a difference in time zones, they may be at lunch while we're in closings and things of that nature. The next thing you have is the different types of loans. So some loans may require funding numbers, some may not. And then what investor is this lender putting the loan with? Some of the investors don't need to see the documents. Some of them want to. On top of that, you have lender staffing issues, particularly right now with the COVID virus. A lot of them are still working from home. And so you're having to deal with all the things that they are stressed out about in working from home, trying to handle, as well as trying to handle their closings. And then on top of that, they typically have 10, 15, 20 people at one time trying to get a funding number. So if we do a 1 o'clock closing between 1:30 and 1:45, everybody that's closing at that time is sending their funding documents to them saying, hey, we need a funding number and wants it right now. So you may be 10th, 15th, 20th in line to be reviewed. So there's a lot of issues there. And you also might have an issue where the lender still has an issue to try to clear to get the loan funded. Now, the last thing, or what I would tell you most importantly, is making sure that this minimizes your time. Number one, is that you can use local lenders. Using local lenders, we can get on the phone with them, help try to get them through the process. We can call the loan originator, and it's a lot easier when you have local lenders. Plus, it also keeps local jobs, and that's very important in the COVID virus era, is making sure that South Carolinians keep their jobs. The other thing I would tell you is there's really no reason for you to sit and wait for the funding number. Everything you need to do is already done. So once the attorney leaves and says, okay, I get the funding number, use the time to talk to your client for a few minutes about referrals and more business, and then politely say you're in good hands with a lawyer, and let us know if you need things. It's good to see you, and you can leave. And then you can come back and get your check later, or we can wire it to you. And so I really don't see why agents need to sit there for 20, 30 minutes waiting for the funding. But anyway, I think those few tips there should help you. But do keep in mind, every lawyer that does funding wants to get it done as soon as possible. And if you're finding that one's doing it quicker than the other, it might be these issues. Or you also need to make sure that your lawyers are waiting on funding numbers and getting the funding numbers. While we all would like to get our checks and be done, you want to make sure that everybody's following those rules, because if they're not following the rules and getting the funding numbers, they're violating the lender rules. And therefore, what other things are they not doing that they should be doing that you don't even know about? So make sure that you're getting a lawyer that does absolutely insist on the funding numbers when the lender asks for it. So hopefully that helps you out. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see y'all soon. Stay safe.